Hi, my name is Travis Gibbs, and I just want to walk through a section of my assessment strategies presentation and walk through a digital tool that can be used to assess that specific concept. So here we can see that our assessment is going to be on evaluating functions. So some of the questions here that we'll be looking for in the assessment in the digital tool set are answering what is the domain of a function, explain why a value is excluded from a domain, and determine the domain of a given function. Uh, we We'll use Khan Academy because it's a resource that allows us to create a variety of questions and access a variety of concepts that are aligned with the state standards, in this case, the Common Core state standards. It also generates a lot of really helpful data in a really quick way. And that can be feedback for myself and for students and parents that can be easily accessible. So we're just going to go through a few of those things to see how it works. So here is my teacher dashboard for Khan Academy. I just created a fictional class called Math. Here you can see that there's one student, which is myself. And I can access it by clicking on that, and we'll come into our activity overview. The great thing about Khan Academy is you can create a variety of goals through assignments and see the progress of those goals. Assign assignments to specific students or a whole class, view the scores for those, manage those assignments, and also manage the students. You also see a breakdown of all the concepts, and here we're looking at functions. It gives us a really awesome breakdown of how the students are doing with those color-coded bars to tell us whether they're have attempted it, if they're familiar, proficient, or have mastered the concept. For this one specifically, we're looking at domain and range from a graph. Right here, it actually tells us the standard that we're using. We can view exercises that will be used in Khan Academy to assess those, and then look at the actual concepts within those standards to make sure that so that we can even see those the progress of students in even more detail. Here is another view. It takes a little bit to pull up sometimes, but here are some a breakdown of the skill sets that we're assessing and how that looks for a teacher. So how many of these assignments have been attempted, how many are familiar, and how many are proficient. And then this is actually something that transfers over really nicely onto I'm a student at this point. I made myself a student of this class, and so I have my courses. My class is math that I have been asked to join. You can send a link through Google Classroom or through a Gmail or just through a link, or you can add them manually, and we can see all the assignments here that are assigned to me. So these can be used as formative assessments individually. I can have them go through a set of these. They can You can see that haven't started some. I have started and I can resume them, or what my progress is on them. Each of these are about they contain about 4 to 8 problems to practice, and some of them do come along with a video to explain the concept that's going to be used. So this can be one where you're even allowing them to review the concept as well. So this is a really great ongoing formative assessment that can be used throughout the year. And again, you can pick and select what topics and standards you're focusing on, depending on what you're teaching and what grade level. So to go back to my dashboard, as a teacher, I can actually just click up here, teacher dashboard. And I also have resources that are here. And so my documents will actually have multiple choice quizzes that I can generate with what's called Khanmigo, an AI through Khan, where I can actually pick a series of questions and then assign those to students, or generate a quiz that I can then copy and paste and put into a digital organizer, or I can make a physical copy. And it doesn't look like it's going to let me do it. Let's try this one. My apologies, I just paused the video. Sometimes these actually are a little bit, take a little while to upload. But again, you can generate a multiple choice quiz based off of certain exercises that Khan Academy offers that focus on certain standards. So we have the question, what is the domain of a function, which again is one of our questions from the presentation. Is a function defined at 1 over x? So again, we're recognizing why a number might not be in a range set or in a domain set. So we have all of these questions that we can generate with Khan Academy, and when it's done, we can actually view how it was assessed through Khan Academy as well. One thing that is also great about the student dashboard is that they can actually view their own progress. So they can see how they are doing as they go, and this data can be used to help inform themselves on what they need to do or how they can use this as positive feedback. It also is something that I can access really easily as a teacher, and it gives me all sorts of breakdowns of what areas need to be worked on and how much. I can look at that on a class level and as a student level, and then adapt my instruction and assessment styles based off of that data set. And I think that this is really great to use when one of the great tools that can be referred to when giving feedback to students and families. So it can be a really nice transition into how the student is doing, and the parent can actually see in a visual way how the student's progress is in class, and we can base our decisions off of the data. So that's one way that we can keep our personal our subjective opinions a little bit out of it by focusing on that data.